Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, once again with a paladin. And level 45 quest. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for a traitor, I've been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time the traitor Zolk'tagir was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultan's Sworn met with an untimely death. But strangely, our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged a favor from an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale Frontistry. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night in the barracks. But in nearly every case, there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work, as sorcerers in the pay and service of the monetarists. A society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassin, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan's Sworn elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself, who had the most to gain from their deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan's Sworn who might become future commanders, all of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for the Zolk'tagir to become the Sultan's Sworn's youngest captain in a century. The monetarists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan's Sworn, to purge its ranks of greatness and enervate it so that it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Zolk'tagir remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisonous kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can only be one explanation. He was the monetarist's cat's paw, the turncoat in our midst. Ooh. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan's Sworn. In accordance with Sultan's Sworn tradition, the set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Fanalan. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultan's Sworn themselves if you are to claim their armor. Okay. Off to southern Fanalan. We start here at this ruined shrine, I guess, where we originally got our paladin soulstone. There's a squire who seems to be a conjurer and one who is a paladin. You obtain a piece of the gallant armor. The gauntlets. Oh, that fall hurt. So let's see if we can pull through. Heal me, Chocobo! Heal me! Okay. I think I got it under control. Okay, the third and fourth piece are here in the ruins in front of the Temple of Khan. The third piece, the coronet. The second was the leg piece. However, we have shorts there. And the Solowets, the lower leg guard. Looks a bit weird that there is a between these shorts and the Solowets, that there's a free space in the armor. But, yeah. Once we have a chest piece, it isn't that visible anymore. It reaches over the piece. Just barely, but it does. Good, the armor is yours. You have learned your lesson well and owned your skills, and now you're ready to face Zolt'zagir the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place and made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. We learn cover after this mission. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultansworn. I have told Zolt'zagir that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. The parley is to take place south of Forgotten Springs and the Zagoli Desert. Give me your map and I will mark the location. While I believe he is acting alone, we must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the Monotaurist will not take kindly to his surrender. In fact, I believe that should the Monotaurist discover Zolt'zagir is willing to parley, they will surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone. We should travel separately so as not to attract attention. We shall meet again at the parley. Something about this is off, isn't it? This feels all a little bit too easy. Yep, this is a battle marker. Is this the sword? Genlins? So you dared to come. You are a brazen one. I will grant you that. But did you really think I wouldn't find out? What do you mean? Come, confess. My allies within the Sultansworn have taught me the truth. I know you're working in league with a traitor and the Monotaurists. Confess. With your dying breath, you will tell me where I can find Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. No. Do you dare accuse my own Sultansworn of lying? We are comrades in arms, every one of us, bound in brotherhood by our oaths. I would trust them with my life. What is your word when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You are a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning, ever since you showed me the soul of a paladin that the traitor Zolt'zagir gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a paladin, and as such you are bound by the code of honor that is as unforgiving as it is noble. Traitor, I sentence you to death and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. Dang it, Jennings. Save whatever dignity you have left and accept your fate. How dare you use our arts against us? Confess, damn you! Confess! I hope he's now willing to listen. You cannot do this. I'm the greater swordsman. You're superior in every way. What? Archer. You were blinded, Genlins, by your own conviction. Genlins, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultan Sworn. Those men were assassins in service to the monetarists. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. You and this free paladin of yours. Liar! You are their agent. You betrayed us for them. You were always naive, Genlins. Too willing to trust your fellow man. It's one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think. The information you uncovered. How did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap as if, oh, I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for their own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the monetarists' lapdogs. Genlins, you've been led a merry dance and followed their lead at every step. Then, you were never a traitor? You were innocent? I have wronged you. Easy now. Your wounds aren't mortal, but you still need rest. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse, and we'll have him back on his feet soon enough. You've become a fine warrior and learned all there is to know about the way of a paladin. I think perhaps you're not aware just how much you've grown. Well, 'tis time you were made aware, paladin. When the captain recovered, keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. Okay, back here at the Royal Chambers. Seems Genlins is back up again. Paladin, I have done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused you of treason, and even turned your sword against you. I hope that you find it in your heart to forgive me. As for me, yes, I'm recovered of my wounds, at least those that will heal. But far more important than that, Zerxegil is innocent after all. He was never a traitor, and the dream that I followed in my youth was not a lie. I remain captain of Elite, although a poor substitute for my predecessor. I am now working on a plan to strike back at the monetarists and restore the Sultan Sworn to its former strength. No, do not be afraid for me. We've unmasked the foe, and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies. There is cover. And reach level 50. Welcome, Paladin. I had hoped to see you before I left. You remained a true friend even after the wrongs I did to you, and I owe you my trust, so I will tell you everything I have learned. After our encounter in the hills, I spent some time in the care of Zerxagil, recovering from my wounds. As a convalescent, he gave me the true account of what happened these last few years in his solitary war against the monetarists. After he went into hiding, he tried to get word to me about what was happening, but I was surrounded by agents of the pay of the monetarists who kept me isolated and ignorant. They planted the lie that Zerxagil was a traitor and tricked me to tracking him down. I was their puppet, twitching obediently at the end of the strings they pulled. But when I discovered that Death's Embrace had been behind the demise of my brothers and sisters, they panicked, especially when they found out I had shared the information with you. They set a trap for us and baited it with the promise of a parley with Zerxagil. Zerxagil was no traitor, as I should well have known, but I allowed myself to be deceived by the whispers of mummers and flatterers and... No, that's not the way of it. It was not their lies that made me blind, but my desire, nay, obsession, to restore our honor. For the Sultan Sworn and all paladins who have bent knee to a higher cause, honor is a means to an end, not the end itself. I lost sight of that, and in doing so, I lost sight of my true duty. Zerxagil understood what was happening, and that is why he gave you the soul of a paladin. It was a remonstration, a message. Look how adventurous live, he was telling me. Where does their honor, their authority come from? I owe my position to the machinations of the monetarists. They calculated that a young captain eager to prove his loyalty, bound by unquestioning fealty, would be all the easier to control. They were right. I'm a sham and a fake. But the world does not know that, and even the illusion of power is a power of sorts. I can use it to fight back. I will tell my subordinates that I am fleeing to Snowcloak and Curthus. When the monetarists see of this, as surely they will send assassins after me again. But when they show their hand, I will stand my ground and fight back. I realize you may wish to offer your assistance. However, I cannot in good conscience put you in harm's way anymore. You too have become a target of a cabal's assassins. The odds will be against me, that much is certain, but Zerxagil has taught me much, and if I am brave and vigilant, I know I can triumph. I'm sorry you have been caught up in our own political struggles, but now, as a paladin, it is time you traveled your own path. Ah yes, Zerxagil wished to have word with you as well. You will find him in central Fenelon. Allow me to mark the location on your map. And everyone can mark my map except me, unfortunately. That is really a feature I would like to have. A map marker. Anyway, Zerxagil is here in the mining tunnel. Thank you for coming, Serenia. We haven't much time, so I will be blunt. Genelitz will die if he faces Death's Embrace alone. I know what I must do, and I suspect you do as well. If you are the woman I believe you to be, when we shall meet again soon. In Snowcloak, right? Where Genelitz is hiding. Where? In the middle of a snowstorm. Great. Perfect weather for this. You as well? I told you to go to ground. This isn't your fight. First Zerxagil, now you. Are you both so eager to die? You forget that we are paladins. Wheresoever our duty leads us, we go. And do so of our own free will. To abide by one's own sense of justice is to embrace that paladin's creed. Sworn or unsworn, we are paladins true, and the only true oath we swear is the one we swear to ourselves. Now come, let us stand shoulder to shoulder and show the black hearts the metal of our soul and the steel of our swords. I suspect they would send minions, but Void sent? Ha! Hardly a challenge for a trio of paladins. This was actually a pretty hard fight here. This is not the first attempt I have of this fight, but I kind of suspected you weren't too eager to see me do this 3 times. It's long enough as is. The first part of it, the 2 Void Send, is easy enough. Surely the monetarists would go to greater lengths than this. Those voids and they were called forth by a mage. A mage who, I suspect, is still observing us. Spread out and search for anything unusual, but tread lightly. This could very well be a trap. Okay. So, not here. There's the end of our instance here. Can't talk to them. What is that in the background? Just standing there, those two. Glowing grimoire. What sorcery is this? Likely the work of our mage. It pulls us in a queer light. Up above, it's a mage. The grimoire, it's a trap. Whoa! He just meteored that thing. Damn you! Serenia, are you injured? How disappointing. I'd hoped to finish this quickly. Not that I expect you will live much longer. Cut down the assassins quickly, but beware the mage. These magics are not to be trifled with. I believe the grimoire must go because... Where did that monstrosity come from? Yeah, from that book. Over there, look, that grimoire is the source. I will hold the beasts at bay. General Serenia, destroy the grimoire. on. Get the pressure off Volksagir. He's pretty wounded already. And if either of those two dies, the duty is failed. Okay. Strange of the other two paladins, no cure. You've done well. You never flinched from your duty. You followed the path you knew you had to take, and you showed us what it means to be a paladin. And you even managed to pry the scales from Jenlen's eyes while you were at it. It's been an honor to know you and watch you grow. In any case, today's battle should blunt the Minotaur's stagger, at least for a while. They think twice before sending assassins after the Sultan sworn again. I trust you will see to this mess, Jenlens? Yes, sir. I mean, Captain, please, sir, return to the capital. Take up your command again. The burden... it's too much for the likes of me. The Minotaurists have stolen Oathkeeper, but oaths are not forged in steel, they are sworn in the heart. You never betrayed your oaths, Jenlens. As for your leadership, well, ask Miss Paladin if she learned anything from you. No matter what the circumstances, once a man has left the Sultan's Swan, he cannot return. No, I followed my own path, and on it I will stay. I have followed you since the day I vowed to join the ranks of the Sultan's Swan. Has the time come for me to stop following and begin to lead? Thank you for coming. Once again you have placed me in your debt. See me in the city when you return, and I will have something for you. And back from the highlands into the city. Welcome, Paladin. These have been troubling times for the Sultan's Swan, and you have served us loyally. You did what was just, followed the Paladin way, and defended the weak and needy. You are a true Oathkeeper. Honor and right were yours from the very beginning, and that is what made you strong. Strong enough to defeat me. The Sword Oathkeeper is yet to be found, but I have come to realize that I do not need it. Nay, not to lead the Sultan's Swan, nor to restore our good name. The oaths we keep are in our hearts, not in hallowed blades. Zurgzagil has left to wander the nations of Eorzea. He is a man of honor, and unless I am very much mistaken, he will continue to look for the sword that was gifted by our ruler centuries ago. I shall continue to serve Uldar as one of the Sultan's sworn. You shall defend the people of Eorzea as a free paladin. Our paths diverge now, but we shall forever be bound by the oaths we keep in our hearts. But listen to me. Noble words aren't much good to an adventurer who has to face monsters and menaces out in the real world. Fortunately, I have something that will serve you rather better. This sacred armor has been kept with the Sultan's spawn for many generations. It was given only to those Sultan's who had, through feats of arms and deeds of great courage, earned the privilege to wear it. But something tells me that for the first time it left the armorer's forge, this armor should go to someone who is not of a Sultan's sworn. If I allowed myself to be a slave to tradition, the paladin who deserves it the most would never wear it. Now, wouldn't that be a waste of a fine plate? Just one thing, if anyone asks where you got it, you mustn't say it was me. That we get the Gallant armor, of course the better armor set because I'm way too late to the end of the Realm Reborn. And the Hallowed Ground ability, which is a short time invincibility ability. So something to protect me. And that was the end of a Realm Reborn Paladin quest. And if you want to, you can continue right with a Heavensward one because it is already uploaded in my Heavensward playlist. But that's the end of this episode, and until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.